website. It says the effects of purple drink include constricted pupils that don't respond well to light, rough, raspy voice, slow, slurred speech, uncontrolled eye movement, droopy eyes, slowed heart rate, drowsiness, loss of balance, loss of coordination, paleness, constipation, urinary tract infection, dental problems, addiction. Let's see here. They also said that the drug was widely abused in Texas, and then abuse dropped, but by 2011 it started picking back up again. They said among rappers and football players have been a number of arrests and deaths related to this drug combination. Most famously, rapper Lil Wayne talks and raps about the use of the drink, as does 3 6 Mafia, including a lot of rappers and producers have died from it. Jamarcus Russell, who was a quarterback that played for the Oakland Raiders, he was arrested, I guess, for possession of it, and they said that a lot of reason they cut him. He was very talented. He was really good. They cut him because he was drowsy and weak all the time. And then Terrence Keel from the San Diego Chargers was arrested for trying to send a shipment of cough syrup to a friend. He was cut from the team, and he died in a car crash 2 years later after he left the party. So there's just kind of a long list of these stories, right? You saw Lil Wayne having seizures, Rick Ross having seizures, all this other stuff. What do you think, like, when you see guys that are kind of, like, into this stuff, like, what do you think is the dynamic in terms of the influence? Or do you think that people just consciously say, okay, I think I want to go and mix some cough syrup with Sprite, whatever it is people mix it up with, you know what I mean? What do you think's really going on?
I completely agree that there's an influence, right? Like, if you listen to Molly Percocets and you don't know what a Percocet is, now you go look at a Percocet and you see everybody turn to it and you take a Percocet, like he done brainwash you, right? But my thing is like, I think rappers definitely gotta watch what they rap about. Like, no question, we gotta just be more mindful. That's why I've been trying to, like, getting into the game, I felt like I had to make hip-hop. I mean, like, not hip-hop, but, like, I had to make, like, turn-up stuff so that people would listen. But now that I'm getting more of a platform, I'm trying to write songs that are more relatable, relationships, stuff about my pop, stuff like that, just so that I can give, like, a good message to the world, right? But I do think that artists, you need to focus on just writing better stuff. But us as people, we got to take self-accountability, too. Like, because you can't, like, it's weird to me how they say, people watch, or people listen to this music and they go drink lean, but they'll put lean drinking in a movie. You don't think that makes people want to go drink lean too? You know what I'm saying? Put lean in they'll put, they'll put killing in a movie. You don't think that, or guns and all that, you don't think kids watching that makes them think they can go do it too? So it's like, it's a hand in hand with everything we do. I think people just have to be self-accountable and understand that entertainment is entertainment, right? Music, acting, anything that you see on TV is not real for the most part. Even reality TV and all this other good stuff. So they're putting these things on these different platforms, and we're eating it up.
Well, let me challenge you on that then, right? So what you're referring to, which makes perfect sense, right, is personal accountability. That, if I hear a song or if I see a movie where the actors or the rappers are engaged in a certain behavior, I should be accountable for my choices, right? I can't say they made me do it. But, the challenge I had, or the interesting conversation I had with my friend Killer Mike, a rapper down in Atlanta, was I said, it seems to me, though, that argument flips when a lot of times when I hear my artist friends talk about other artists. Like, they won't say, well, the artist is accountable for what he says. They'll say, the label made him do it. The label made him do it. The label made him do it, right? So it almost seems like we have to kind of pick a side, right? Either somebody else is making you do it, or you're choosing to do it, right? Now, we know that the truth is somewhere in the middle. We know it's in the middle, right? We know that we know what peer pressure does. When I was a kid, I did stuff that didn't make a lot of sense because I had friends that would say, oh, come on, boys, do this. But when I did it, if I went out and did some retarded shit that got me in a bad situation, and I went to my dad and I said, well, my friends were pushing me to do this, do that. My dad would be like, well, are your friends dealing with the fucking consequences? Are your friends the ones who, are now, who got everything all fucked up now because of what you did? Or are you the one dealing with the consequences, right? So it almost seems to me like at the end of the day, that final decision does belong to you. whether you are an artist and you're dealing with a white man at a label who's telling you to go kill niggas in your music, or teach black men to die, or to murder each other, or you are a consumer of the music and you listen to the music and you say, listening to Gucci Mane made me want to go shoot somebody, right? You can't say that. I can't say, you know what I mean? I can't say Gucci Mane, Gucci Mane's lyrics when he said murder that motherfucker, that made me want to go shoot that dude. Like, I can't use that as a defense in court at all. You know what I mean? Especially given that I'm black. Now, I've actually, it's funny though, there have been people who've used it, defenses like that in court. They've literally sued, whether it's, somebody who made a movie or whatever, but that usually works for white people. It doesn't work for black people. Black people get held accountable, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. Actually, it does.
Well, let me ask you, man. Let me ask you about. We'll go back to this in a minute. Cause I want you guys to kind of see. Fredo was a very, very talented artist.
Yes, he was, man. He was very well respected, and he was loved by a lot of the hip hop community, young and old. You know what I'm saying? And then like I said, I was able to briefly, be around him a few times, and he was nothing but positive. You know what I'm saying? I know people look on the internet and you just see tats and dreads and all of this, but I mean, when those guys are making money for like the last 6 years, so you know what I'm saying? He was definitely I would say he was outgoing man. He was like a well-traveled, you know what I'm saying? Like he knew what he wanted, he knew what he was talking about, he was taking care of his business, you know what I'm saying? So it was just unfortunate.
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't know much about Fredo Santana, when he was alive. I ain't gonna lie. I knew about his cousin, though, Chief Keef, Chicago. That's, everybody knows about Chief Keef. And I think that it's kind of like, I think that what we kind of have to also have is just a little guidance, right? My generation, when I was your age, the big thing was Tupac. I listened to Pac all the time, every day when I got up in the morning, and the thing I remember noticing about Pac was that you could predict that Pac was going to die before he died. You predicted not only that he was going to probably die, but you could predict how he was going to die. Like live by the sword, die by the sword. He rapped about his own death, and he was only 24, 25 years old. It's kind of grim when you're 24, 25 and you rapping about your own funeral and, stuff like that. And when you look back on that, you know that it was a choice. Like Pac chose to engage in a specific set of actions that a lot of people believe led to his demise. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, who was big at that time, he said that when Pac may hit him up, he said he heard that song and he said, man, somebody's about to die. And so my point on that is to say that, like, while Pac, kind of made his decision and things happened the way it happened, Eazy-E made his decision, things happened the way it happened. There were other people who had a little more vision about their life. Ice Cube would go so far, but he wouldn't go too far. He wasn't so caught up in the present that he didn't think about the future. Now you see Ice Cube is worth, damn near $1 billion, or $500 million, or something like that. Dr. Dre, he would go so far, but he wouldn't go too far. Now you see Dr. Dre is doing really well. He is a billionaire, right? Snoop Dogg was right in the middle of it all. He would go so far, but he wouldn't go too far. He didn't go as far as Suge Knight. He didn't go as far as Eazy. He didn't go as far as Pac. And these guys went on to live long, healthy lives. Diddy was in the middle of it. Diddy went so far, he wouldn't go too far. Now Diddy's a billionaire, right? So I think that what young black men got to think about, especially the guys in the industry who are listening, is you got to ask yourself, am I getting so caught up in the present that I'm not thinking about the future? Because there are different outcomes based on the choices you made. Like if you go back in time and you look at the way Diddy, Dre, Cube, and Snoop reacted to what was going on with the East Coast, West Coast thing versus the way Eazy, Pac, Suge Knight, and other guys reacted to it, it was a very different set of actions that had predictable outcomes. You know what I mean? It's not like it was a surprise that Cube went on to do very well, because Cube was a guy that always would think about it. He'd be like, I don't really think that doing all this stuff is going to be good. Like, we're going to end up dead or in prison. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say to young guys, man. So I'll let you kind of respond to that, because I know I just said a lot.
Well, I mean, Well, respond to what part though? You definitely which part exactly? Like just about how he was able to just kind of like how he had his own, how everybody made their own decisions and he kind of took the better route.
Just in general, just in life in general, in terms of what this makes you think about in terms of what you see as a 26. You're 26 or 27?
I'm 26. Don't throw that age on me real quick. 27 is like closer to 30.
So as a so I guess I asked that because as a 26-year-old black man, you're right in the middle of it. You're doing art from the heart. Everybody loves it. Everybody's coming out. You're traveling all over the world performing. Japan, LA, London, all these places you're going to, and you're seeing all this, right? You're seeing a lot of the power that comes with youth, and youth can create invincibility sometimes, because I remember we was talking one day and I told you, I said, well, Jimi Hendrix is only famous for a very short period of time. I think it was like less than 2 years, and he was about your age, like maybe a little bit older when he died. And and it's almost like when you're young, you really think like nothing bad can happen, like you're gonna be fine. You know what I mean? so when you see the culture and stuff like that, like how do you kind of process just kind of what's happening around you? Like, when you see what happened with Fredo, like how does that make you feel? Just kind of knowing that you guys are about the same age.
I'll be honest, I felt bad when I heard about it, and that's just because I have a friend of mine. Obviously, I won't say his name, but like a dear friend of mine, man. He does it a lot. And I mean, every time I see him, he's like, "Yo, bro, drink up." And I'm like, come on, I can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like he doesn't really. Like I can see when he doesn't have it, he's not himself. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if that's a withdrawal. Like I remember I'm not, so I don't really know. But I don't know if it's like a withdrawal or whatever the case. But it just makes me think. You know what I'm saying? If Fredo dies from it, because my mom is like on me about like these guys are dying over this. Like she's real on it. She'll be like she'll drop a Harvey Weinstein text or post it in my joint. She'll drop a lean post in my text. Like she'll drop like 4 different major things that she think rappers need to watch out for, and just drop it in my text every day. So like I see a lot of stuff, and to see that kind of stuff, it just lets me know that's real. That's first of all. I grew up listening to Lil Wayne, and he be like, "Weed and lean gonna kill me, bitch, because you ain't." You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, I realize like he really doesn't care. And I would just wish some of my friends that are on it would care. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they really do. And it's just to a point where you can't really tell them what to do. Like I'm gonna see the man all the time. It's like, what I'm gonna do? Put that cup out of your hand, young man. It's just like he's not gonna listen to anything I have to say. It's either I'm gonna drink it with him or I won't. Like, and I just you gotta give him the no. Like you feel me? But he's gonna offer it every time, and he's gonna have it every single time. I'm gonna have it. So you know what I'm saying? That's my thing. That made me think about him. If you want to be honest, I was just like, he's 28 right now.
Wow. Well, everybody who's at, some people are asking who I'm speaking with. I'm speaking to Jay Ortiz. Jay Ortiz is out of Philadelphia. He runs Art from the Heart, which is a very, very popular experience that involves sort of the fusion of hip hop and art and everything else. And he works with John Bourne a lot, the respected artist. John Bourne lives in Vegas, right? Is that where he lives?
Yes. Me and John originated and we started. I mean, we're both from Pennsylvania. I'm from Philly. He's from Harrisburg. But we met in LA. And, that's when we started, working together and doing different things. And then he just relocated to Vegas last year. So John Bourne is live from Vegas. And, I'm still back and forth with LA and Philadelphia.
Wow, and I saw you work with London Low, who just released an album. Did y'all ever make a video for that great song you guys performed in London?
London Low is amazing, first of all. So I just want everybody to know that she just released an EP entitled PDA. I think it's Public Display of Art, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what it stands for. It's all that. She has like all production and stuff are made by like her. So it's all vocals. There's no instruments on the album. It's also it's like a beatbox with her vocals. It's crazy. So just check it out. We didn't get to get the video done yet. Me and you'll talk about that. But the video's coming soon. We just got to make sure she can get to Philly on a certain time. So I think she'll come do next month's show. Next month's Art from the Heart in Philly. If she can stay for 2 or 3 days, we can knock the video out. No problem.
I know you guys. I really like that song because you were actually. It was a good song. I mean, it was really. I can't remember the name of the song. Maybe do you remember?
One Day.
One Day, yeah, man. And it was It was great because it, you were reflecting on, your father. Your father, got in a situation, and there were some choices made that led to him being incarcerated up until even today. And it was a really touching reflection on that because
But you get an advantage too. You would never think that though, and that's another reason why like I don't do certain things like drink lean or whatever the case. I understand my pop been in jail. I'm 26. My pop been in jail since I was 3 months old. So repercussions, like I know what that means. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know what it means to do the wrong thing. Like I know that if you don't do the right thing, you can end up like that, right? And that's, being in jail for 30 years is as good as feeling dead. You know what I'm saying? All the same thing. So people look at me as like, oh well, he was, he's grew up without a father, or they look at kids that grow up without a pop, and they're like, oh well, they missed a lot, and da da da. Well, I look at it as an advantage, right? I don't look at it as like a misfortune that I miss my father. I look at it as like I'm one step ahead of everybody else. Because a lot of kids, they only move around and do dumb stuff because they don't know about